What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. If you like videos about prepping, survival, self-reliance, and other related topics, then be sure to subscribe, turn notifications on, be notified so that I upload a new video. Guys, we are being manipulated. We're being led down roads that go to nowhere. We're being played like a fiddle, in my opinion. It's been going on for quite some time, and we all have fallen victim to this because it is expert psychological manipulation of the American population and actually the population of the world. In previous videos, I've talked about the possibility, and I thought it was a good possibility at the time, of the United States and NATO actually going into a kinetic war with Russia, and quite possibly being a nuclear war. I've talked about China invading Taiwan, and that would set off World War III, or so I thought. I've talked about the United States wanting to attack Iran. And we've been hearing these narratives in the media constantly. They've been telling us that, Iran is going to attack Israel and going to attack targets inside the United States, and we'll have to go to war with Iran. We've got to go to war with Russia. We've got to go to war with Kim Jong-un in North Korea. And it's been going on for quite some time. We've been fed all kinds of threats of World War III, kinetic World War III, nuclear war from all sides. The politicians, the mainstream media, even the prepping channels, even me, I fell for this narrative because it looked legit, and it makes sense when you look at it from a logical mind and a logical standpoint. But if you look at it as it's all being planned to manipulate everyone into thinking certain things and taking certain actions and looking certain ways, while other things, the Great Reset agenda, for example, is happening. Hey, look over here. World War III is going to happen. Russia's going to nuke us at any moment, at any minute. China's going to invade Taiwan, and we're going to go defend Taiwan. And North Korea is going to attack South Korea. Iran is going to attack Israel. We're going to be in World War III at any minute now. And they've kept this up for years. But especially over the last couple of years, after over 2 years now, since Russia invaded Ukraine, supposedly, we're being told. Who knows actually at this point what's actually fact, what's reality, what's just manipulated, and a Hollywood production on your nightly news to lead us to think certain ways. To look over here, we've seen balloons fly over low enough where we could just look and see what was going on. We could take some binoculars and look, and there it was. When they have sophisticated satellites, they can get all kinds of images. They can do all kinds of things from satellites in space. But they have to go down low tech and fly a big white balloon, several actually, across the United States. And you had to let it go all the way across so everyone can get a look at that. They can talk about it in the media. We've had them talking about January 6th and the insurrection. And this whole time they've been talking about all these things, leading us certain ways to infight among ourselves, and to keep talking about things in the mainstream media and even on alternative media. We have fallen for this crap ourselves. I know I have at times reported here on this YouTube channel where I have talked about these very topics. And I've talked about that the United States and Russia more than likely would go to war over Ukraine. It's not going to happen in my opinion. United States and China isn't going to go to war over Taiwan. North Korea isn't going to do anything, in my opinion, because he knows he's under control of China. And it's all a big club, and we aren't in it. We're being played like a fiddle to look at all this, to stay frightened, to stay fearful, to keep them in power, to give them excuses to keep spending money, like sending funds, weapons to Ukraine, to enrich the military-industrial complex, to enrich the politicians, and make us think it's going to be World War III, that Putin's going to invade everyone, and it's all complete hogwash, and they all know it. The media most likely know it, and us people in alternative media should have knew it. But unfortunately, most of us didn't, and we fell into this trap of thinking this was all real. It's all a distraction. There is some things happening, but it's all on purpose, to let it happen on purpose to reach certain ends. Like Russia invading Ukraine, it's enriching the military-industrial complex here in the United States and others around the world. And do you think that, the numbers we've been told, like 300, I guess last I heard was like 300,000 Ukrainians have been killed during this war, and so many thousands of Russians. If that's true, and I'm not saying it is because I don't know, who knows at this point, but if that's true, do you think the people raking in the profits care about these people? They don't care about these people. They wipe the whole nation out and not care at all. But while we're looking over here and worried about the missiles coming down any second, red alert, missiles in the air, they're flooding the border constantly with 10,000 on average every day coming across the border that we know of. So you can bet that it's probably twice that much. And now it's came out that the Biden administration under Mayorkas, which worked for Heiss, which is behind a lot of this, the base he set up in Panama and a lot of this importation of all these people in the United States, he worked for them, and he was put in the position he's in now in the Biden regime, and he's continuing to let this happen. And Joe Biden, he is like, where's my ice cream? Little girl to fondle, little girl to sniff. That's Joe Biden in a nutshell. Look over here. Look at this World War III. See any missiles coming down? Don't look at the border. Don't look at that border being wide open and hundreds of thousands of criminals coming over here. Don't look at the fact that the United States is the dumping ground of all the other nations, getting rid of their mental patients, getting rid of their violent inmates that's in their prisons. They're emptying those out, sending those people over here. We have China coming through by the thousands, by the tens of thousands now. More than likely, 90% Chinese operatives coming over here to the United States to further corrupt the United States. We are being taken over without firing a shot. And our government is complicit in all this, in my opinion. It's all part of the Great Reset agenda. They're resetting the world. China is going to be the dominating superpower in the world. The United States is going to be like Venezuela, third world shithole type of a country. Collapsed economy, crime out the yin-yang, everyone hunting, trying to find enough food to eat, trying to stay safe, and they'll come in and offer a solution, which is going to be martial law, social credit score systems. That's what the whole plan is. If they can make things miserable enough, they're going to bring in all this agenda, 2030 agenda. The digital currencies, because the currency is going to collapse, because that's another thing. Look over here at these missiles coming down, maybe. Look at World War III. Look at Russia. Look at China. Look at North Korea. Look at Iran. When they're spending trillions of dollars. I think it's $1 trillion now every 100 days. Their national debt's going up. That can't continue, in my opinion. So they're crashing it on purpose to bring in this digital currencies, social credit score systems. The crime's going to be out of control. People are going to be begging for the solution. And now we have a brand new election coming up, a brand new presidential election cycle coming up. And the people have been looking at the border and everything going on. They're saying, let's just wait a few more months here, and we'll get the Donald in there and he'll fix everything. It'll be okay. Let's just stay calm, don't do anything, don't prepare, don't try to get ready, don't try to figure things out, because in a few months we'll go vote and the Donald will come in and save us all. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. We see the last presidential election, how that went. We know how Joe Biden got in office. Do you think that's been fixed at this point? It hasn't. It's gotten worse. They've been working on how to do this for the last 3.5 years here, since working out more of the kinks and getting a better, smoother operating system to place who they want to in office. And the only way, in my opinion, that Donald Trump or anyone will ever get into office as the president of these United States is if he's appointed. So, if Donald Trump gets elected, it's because they want Donald Trump elected. It's because they put him in that position. But definitely, it's probably not going to happen, but if it does and he gets in that position, it's because he was appointed and he's part of the cabal. He's part of the swamp. I'm not saying that he is, because I don't know. They've relied to so much. I mean, who knows at this point. But I do know if he gets in office, that's definitely proof to me that he's part of the swamp and part of this whole 2030 agenda they're putting in place. A lot of people's going to click off right now. They're going to go down in the comments, madder than holy hell, giving it to me because Donald Trump, they see as pretty much Jesus. A lot of these people do. They can come in and he will get actually elected this time and can snap his fingers and play 5D chess. It's going to all be fixed. The national debt's going to go away. All the people that come across, the millions, and that's picking up, and it will continue to pick up this summer, all through the fall, and through to the election, and more than likely will still continue on after that. We saw that it's picking up now. The numbers are picking up. We saw Texas, we heard in the media, was blocking off, El Paso, places in Texas right there. And we were told there's going to be a civil war. The states are going to stand up to the Biden regime. It's pretty much been forgotten now. No one's talking about it. And where'd it go? What happened? Distraction. They may block off this little portion here, but they just come right on around this other way and come right into the United States. And we see that we know of over 300,000 that the Biden regime under Mayorkas has flew into the United States. Over 300,000 they've admitted to. So if they're admitting to 300,000, you can bet that it's been more than likely 1 million. Because their numbers are all over the place. I'm going to tell you the exact numbers. Something comes out and it gets reported because they want you to know about it is one thing, usually. But if it gets reported and it leaks out and you get some actual news like that, they will lie and say it was much less than what it actually was. So if they're saying, I think it's 360,000, you can guarantee, in my opinion, it was more like 1 million or more. They've actually flown into the United States. That hasn't even crossed the border. And we see crime going up. But look over here. The missiles are inbound. The nukes are incoming. Look at Russia. Look at Ukraine. Look at Iran. Look at China. Look over here. Look at the balloons. Look at something. And they keep coming through by the hundreds of millions. Crime is going up. Violent crime is going up. And it will continue to do so. You haven't seen nothing yet. And that's another thing that they're trying to keep us from looking at. They're not reporting on all these crimes committed by these illegal aliens. These illegal migrants, these undocumented migrants, these newcomers, he wants to call them. Now, there are all kinds of different names for these people, but they're all illegals coming here to the United States. And they're not reporting the crimes they're doing. Very, very few. The media isn't reporting on the crimes that they're doing, and they just absolutely have to. But they will tell us, look over here. Don't look at the crimes that have been committed. Don't look at the crime rate going up. Don't look at these murders. Don't look at these children that have been hurt, killed. Don't look at the women that's been raped and their head bashed in with a rock by some illegal from Venezuela. Don't look at this. Look over here. Look at Russia. Look at the missiles inbound, folks. We've been led down this road to look at this as a threat. When the threat is right here, the invasion is right here, the war is right here, and our own government, supposedly our own government, which we know that it isn't, they don't represent us, is behind it, is allowing the invaders in, actually flying the invaders in, knowing what's going to happen, knowing the crime rate is going up, knowing the infrastructure is going to collapse, and that is the plan. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'm the Creekmore, I'm out of here, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.